friends, and welcome back to She's At It Again. Most of you know, if you've watched my channel for very long at all, how much of a fan I am of fire roasted tomatoes. Anytime I say you're going to use a full can of diced tomatoes or stewed tomatoes or something like that, I always say, but if you want more flavor, use the fire roasted ones. So recently I was going to make something and I thought, oh, I need to go get a can of fire roasted tomatoes. But I look down and I see this tray of tomatoes that I've had since we had our first frost. I picked the green ones off all my tomato vines, and my friend gave me the remaining ones from her garden that weren't quite ripe yet. Well, actually they were completely green. So I put them on this tray. I've kept them in the kitchen near the front window, and they have ripened over time, which is what tomatoes do when you pull them off the vine. They just ripen naturally. But I didn't want to throw these tomatoes away, and I couldn't use them all at once. The holidays are coming up and just not enough things called for that many tomatoes. I mean, I had a big tray of them. I took a picture. It was probably the first thing you saw in this video. This is just what's left after I used a whole lot of them. So my first thought was, wait, I wonder if I could make fire roasted tomatoes out of these. So that's exactly what I did. And I didn't video it. I regret that I didn't video it, but now's my chance because the rest of these have ripened for the most part. But I'm going to show you how to make fire roasted tomatoes, obviously, thus the title, fire roasted tomatoes. But you just will not believe how much flavor these have. If I handed my husband a slice of tomato, he would say, oh, that's a really good tomato. If it's really ripe, that's a really good tomato, especially with salt on it, maybe a little rosemary, oregano, something like that. But I handed him one of these fresh off the baking sheet after I took them out of the oven, and all it had on it was olive oil and a little bit of salt. And he stopped for a minute, his eyes got real big, and he said, that is the best flavored tomato I've ever put in my mouth. That was incredible. And I said, that was one of those that was green. We bought them in from the garden, and you were like, what are you going to do with those? And I said, I'm just going to let them ripen and we'll use them from there. That's what happens when you roast these. And fire roasted just means roasting at a really high temperature. So what I did was I rinsed these tomatoes off. As you can see, some of these have spots that need to be cut off, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put them, I'm going to cut any bad spots off, slice them up, put them in this bowl. We're going to put olive oil on them, and I'll show you that process in just a minute, but I'm not going to bore you with cutting all the spots off, and you're watching me just cut up tomatoes with a knife. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to be cutting these up with a knife, and I'll show you what they look like in just a minute. All right, we are back over here at the island. These are the tomatoes that I just cut up. These have nothing on them. I just cut every single tomato in half. And the reason being is because I want that inside surface of the tomato exposed, so when the heat hits it, it starts evaporating. It doesn't contain as much moisture at the end as it would if you just left a whole tomato. Then you go to poking them and all the juice runs out of it. With this, a lot of that juice will evaporate. Now I have some in a jar that I cut up the other day, and I thought, oh, I'll put some of my homemade vinaigrette on that, and yet I never really used it for anything else because I always had access to these other ones. But what I'm going to do is pour the vinaigrette on this instead of just using olive oil. But if you're doing this just starting new and you happen to have tomatoes, then, and these can even be store-bought tomatoes too, you know, the ones that don't taste like anything, but when you fire roast them, they do. Trust me, this one, when I say the flavor is just unbelievable. It's like it's hidden until it hits fire. So I'm going to pour this vinaigrette and these other tomatoes on this. A lot of that olive oil has solidified on there, but I'm just going to toss these in that instead of just pouring more olive oil and wasting this. So we're going to toss these around. And you'll notice this pan that I have is dark. This is a enameled pan, but it is a broiler pan. So I just took the top part off, use the bottom part because the dark metal is going to absorb that heat even more than a different shiny pan would. So pour these out on here. Empty bowl. And I have my oven preheating to 450 degrees. On these bigger pieces of tomato, I'm going to make sure that the cut side is facing up. I want all that moisture to evaporate as much as it can. The nice thing about it is this vinaigrette will have a little bit of garlic, a little bit of oregano, and things like that in there. So it'll just have more flavor to it. And the only thing I'm going to add to this is a bit of salt. And the salt just brings out the flavor even more. All right, you can always add more later, but you can't take it away. So that's our salt. All right, my oven is not preheated yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven. It doesn't have to be to a certain temperature before you put it in there. It's not like it's so temperature sensitive, but we're going to roast these for about 30 minutes, and then I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. Timer went off on our oven. They've been in there for about 32 minutes is what I set the timer at, just because it wasn't preheated yet. So let's see what they look like. Oh my goodness. I wish you could smell these. These smell so good. I love the charred pieces on these darker ones like this. I think this pan had a lot to do with that. Okay, we're gonna let those cool off. Okay, so just a suggestion for these, I made the Greek spaghetti that I did the recipe for here a while back. I honestly think I probably made Greek spaghetti maybe up to 10 times once I figured out this recipe earlier in the summer. We have it all the time. But because there weren't a lot of good tasting fresh tomatoes recently, which is what you use in Greek spaghetti, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna use the fire roasted tomatoes that I did the first time and forgot to video it. It was phenomenal. My husband said it actually made the Greek spaghetti even that much better, if that's possible. And that is one of our favorite things, absolutely favorite things. But the fire roasted tomatoes just put it over the top. So as a suggestion, this could be used in chili, in soups, in Greek spaghetti, because it is so stinking good. So anyway, recipe for this is in the description. Really and truly, only 3 ingredients. Ripe tomatoes, salt, olive oil. That's it. So how easy could that be? So if you have tomatoes, you might save this in a reminder for next summer when you have tomatoes coming off the vine. You're like, I don't know what to do with all these tomatoes. I want to can them. I don't want to put them in the freezer. I don't have the room and I can't eat them all fresh right now. Do this. Do this. I'm telling you, you will probably never go back to saying that just a fresh tomato off the vine is the best thing you've ever had, because this will be the new best thing you've ever had. So anyway, thanks for watching. And we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Be creative with this, guys. Bye.